Hey you guys, it is time for Club Couture. So November, I can't believe a week has already gone by in November. I haven't even played with this yet since I've gotten it. So Club Couture, let me know if you guys have heard of this before. You've heard me talk about it. If you don't know what it is, I will explain it all. So every month when you're a Club Couture member, it's a subscription craft club. And every month you get a new transfer in the mail, and you get 3 chalk paste singles as well that coordinate with the theme of the transfer. And it comes directly to you, right to your mailbox, and that's it. As easy as that. You have something new, a new inspiration, new design to play with every month. So some of you guys enjoy that already. And of course, there's other things that come along with being a club member, like promos. Some of those are going on right now. But it's time to reveal what this one is. So if you're a club member and you're getting your transfer, this is what it's going to be. We don't know what it is until it comes. It's a surprise every time. And it's exclusive. You can't get it on my website at all, on my chalk site. Not something that you can order. So it's only exclusive for club members. And so you sign up anytime this month in November, this is the one that you're going to get. Ready? Are you ready for this reveal? Yes? No? And you know what? I am so excited about making pillows. I'm going to do it on a pillow this time. So let's see what it's going to be. It is, of course, Christmas themed. It is stockings. Okay? So this one is, it's called Through the Years is the name of this Club Couture transfer, because it says, through the years, we all will be together. Oh guys, I forgot to flip my camera. Hold on a second here. Then it's so annoying when you can't actually read what the words are. There we go. Much better, right? Okay. So now you can actually read it. It's not backwards. Through the years, we all will be together. And then it's got some different layers going on here with the stockings. You've got a solid small and a larger one, and then you've got the different patterns that go overlaid over top of it. So super fun, lots of little elements to play with, lots that you can do with this. Yeah, you get to be creative and use it however you want to in many different ways. So I'm going to attempt to do it on this pillow cover today, and that's going to mean I'm going to need to pull out my dryers, because if we're doing double layers with ink, you need it to kind of dry in between. It takes longer than when you're working with chalk. So when you guys pop on, let me know that you're watching. I know about this time, with this time change, I have been wanting to just go right to sleep, and so I'm popping on because I can't sleep if I'm doing a live video, right? Okay, let me grab my ink mat. I forgot to grab that before. We need that for sure. Ink mats. If you don't have an ink mat, it's really helpful if you're going to be doing, any amount of inking. I love working with these. If you don't have them though, when I first started out doing inking, I didn't have these. I just used cardboard, and it works, but I really enjoy how these are made for this process. So it just makes it a lot easier. So definitely worth getting one of these if you decide that you love doing textiles like the shirt that I made, or pillows, anything with fabric. The ink mats are a really wonderful tool. And then, so now I've got my little dryers here. I'm going to have to dry it in between. If you have an old heat gun from some other crafting that you've done, or even a hair dryer, that'll work too. So these are 2 really helpful tools to have when you're doing inking. All right, so then we got all of these ink colors to choose from as well. And of course, Christmas colors. It's kind of what I'm going to go for. Probably more traditional. So with my ink mats here, I'm going to stick these inside my pillow. And they're adhesive. So I love that fact, actually. That's one of the best parts about them. They're going to protect my table and the other side of the pillowcase, but they're also, because they're adhesive, the fabric sticks to it. And it smooths out all of the wrinkles. I don't have to iron it first. You could wash and iron it if you really wanted to, but I'm too lazy for that. So you just stick these in here, and it's just a beautiful thing. Now, normally when you get an ink mat, it's the right size to fit in here, and I have cut mine in half for my classes so that we can have more people using them at once. But normally you wouldn't necessarily have to cut them in half. You just use it as it comes. So you can see I am smoothing out all the wrinkles because it's just sticking to the ink mat. There we go. So, we're ready to play around with this. I'm going to cut this up. You can see the sections are divided and there's the white line. So you cut along these white lines, divide up all of these different pieces of the transfer. Now, not all transfers are like this. Many of them just come as one whole design and you don't have to cut it up. But it's fun when sometimes it does come in different sections, and then it's easier to use each little element if you wanted to do something different than how it's already set up for you. I hope everybody is staying warm and safe on the roads. I had to get a battery replaced this week in my car because my van was not starting and we kept having to charge it. It's just that time of year when you figure out all the things that are wrong with your car, that you need winter tires, you need a new battery, at least here in Edmonton. That is the case, and I'm sure for many others. All right. So all of my little pieces are cut up, and so then you get to decide how you want to arrange them. So let me flip this around so that you can see it from your point of view and not upside down. So I'll flip it because I want the opening to be at the bottom when I do my design, because when I place my pillow on my couch, then I like the zipper to be on the bottom just so that you don't really see that part when it's on display on your couch. So, like I said in a few different places now, I am getting addicted to making pillows. At first, you know, I didn't really try using the permanent ink. I just used the chalk paste because it just kind of seemed a little scary, but it's actually really easy. So the fun thing is you could make this pillow with the right number of stockings to match your family or someone else's family if you're making a gift. So just because there's 2 stockings here doesn't mean you only have to use 2. You could use 3, 4, 5, and it's kind of nice because you could fit lots on this pillow. So I think I'm going to do 3 just because that seems symmetrical to me. And I like things to be symmetrical. Let me know, are you guys the same way? Do you like things to be symmetrical, or are you more of an asymmetrical person? You like it to just be a little bit different? Okay, so these are going to go over top of the solid parts, and then there's this cute little part. These are the toys and gifts sticking out of the top of the stockings. So that is super cute. And I think it's probably, let me just see. It's probably meant to stick out of the top of this larger one. Although it looks like it could work for both of them actually. So I think you can do it on both. See, this is the fun part about getting a new design. I have no idea. Hi Glenda, how are you? Let me know where you're watching from. I hope you are keeping warm too. Okay, so I think, this is also, this part sticks out of the top of the stocking. So maybe this one, it looks a little smaller. So I think this probably would fit on the top of this stocking, and then this one would be for the top. But I feel like you could probably mix and match it however you wanted to do it. So that's how it's going to be laid out. And then these little bits and bobs you can just add here, there, and everywhere, wherever you want to, or don't use them at all. It's totally up to you. All right. Okay, so now that I've got my layout, I am going to have to choose some colors. So, of course, we've got our red, candy apple red. That's definitely a prominent Christmas color, right? I've got pesto, which is a nice kind of more natural green color. I really like that. So let me know what you think about those two colors together. Then we've got our meadow green, which is definitely more of the traditional red and green. Do you like that combo better? Hey, Colleen. And then we've got sage green. This is a really light green, which is kind of nice too. It's kind of a fresh color. Do you guys like that? Which green do you guys like better? Traditional or the light or the sage? Which one do you like with the red better? I think everyone kind of has their preference. All right. And then we've got this dune. This is a nice kind of tan, light tan color. It looks really good laid over top of the red. I did see somebody else create this with red as the base and dune as the overlay. I think I'm gonna copy that. We'll see how it goes with the ink. I think it might be a little bit difficult for the dune to show through over top of the red ink, but we'll see. Okay, now you could also go with a totally different color scheme because there's lots of ink colors. So like if you wanted to do all blues and silvers and that was your color scheme for your home, then you could choose those ones and it would look amazing. So that's like the hardest part, just to choose all the different colors. Also, gray is a nice color. Gray and red, I like that combo too. You could use that as well instead of using the dune over top of the red. All right, and then I think for the words, of course, I think I'm just gonna use some black ink for the words. So I've got some colors here to work with. I've got my layout. I've got my pillow ready to go. And now it's just time to place, peel, place, and paste. So I will start with this stocking. And my red, candy apple red. Now you have to be careful not to get your ink on your pillow somewhere where you don't want it to stay, because ink is permanent and of course it's not going to wash out of your fabric very easily. So you do have to be a little extra careful when you are chalking with ink, or inking with ink, probably is the better term. So make sure you don't go over the edges of the transfer, because then you'll be going on to the part of the fabric that you do not want your ink to be on. You just watch those edges. It's kind of like coloring in between the lines. All right, so like, that's it, that's done, and we're ready to peel and reveal. Super nice, bright stocking color. And I'm just going to, because I'm doing this right away, I'm going to place it down again and do one more before I wash it. I can see that the silk screen is pretty clear, so I think I can keep going with one more before I have to wash it. But you just, once you've placed it, that's it. You can't move it around because it is ink, so it's going to leave a mark if you try to pick it up and replace it in a different spot. So you just got to go for it and have at her. and be a little bit fast. If the ink starts to dry within the silk screen, it's going to be a lot more difficult to wash out. Chalk is more forgiving than ink. So you just need to keep that in mind and make sure that you're not lazy like me. Wash the transfer right away once you're done using it so that the ink doesn't dry in there. All right. One stocking, two stocking. Now this I'm going to place in my washing station, and I'm going to spray it right away and just give it a quick clean so that it's not drying in the silk screen. So that's one quick wash on one side, and then I'm going to flip it over, wash the other side just to get around the edges there. And it's all clean and ready to go back on the backing. Voila! All right, now, got a little red on my finger, so make sure that you are keeping track of how messy you're getting so that you're not going to leave fingerprints on your pillow. It's not that kind of craft. Okay, so I'm ready to do my little small stocking now that I got the two big ones on there. We'll get them all done, and then I can dry them so that I can do the overlay part. Make sure you've got it really smoothed down so that your edges are going to be nice and sharp. And there's going to be no ink leaking out of the edges. I find sometimes too, if you start from the outside of the transfer and pull in to the silk screen, that sometimes helps to give you less chance of bleeding. So just start on the outside and pull into the center. And if you wanted to go crazy here, you could make the top of the stocking a completely different color than the body of the stocking. But I don't want to do that much detail because there's already lots of different steps in this one. If you've seen some other of my tutorials for pillows, some of them are just really easy. You just lay it down, you can do all one color, and boom, you're done. This one has a little bit more detail in it, which is fun, right? Like, it's just fun to play around and try different things, and they don't all have to be super easy, but you can make it as complicated as you want sometimes. There we go, 3 stockings. Three stockings done, transfers cleaned, and we are done that part. Okay, so now I'm going to give it a little bit of a dry so that it has time to fully dry before I start the other sections. So let me know, you guys, how your day has been. Are you starting to decorate for Christmas? Are you seeing what's out there and kind of going shopping and picking up a few things already? Are you waiting another month before you even think about that yet? Or do you already have your Christmas tree up? I am so far from even thinking about my Christmas tree at this point. I'm not there yet at all. But I know some people already do. So when you're layering your inks, just like this shirt, this is a 3-part layer. You have to dry it in between. It doesn't have to be completely dry, but it needs to be dry to the touch, right? This kind of, it might be a little bit tacky, but dry enough that you're not going to pull up that bottom layer of ink when you place the other transfer on top of it. So you'll be able to just tell, of course, when it's wet, it's still shiny, and then it gets more of a matte finish when it dries. And then you just do the little finger test. Alright, so that'll give it a good head start for drying. And then we can do some of the other parts before I go on with a second layer. And I might have to shoot it again with that gun just to get it completely dry. Alright, so I can do this part here in the black. You know, the other color that would actually be really nice, oh, we don't have that in ink though. I love the new chalk color. That is like the dark forest green. That's my new favorite. So keep in mind, these other layers are going to be sticking out at the top. So you need to leave enough room. You don't want to put the wording really close to the top of the stockings because then you won't have room for this part. So you just kind of have to keep that in mind. So it probably needs to go about that high. And I mean, you could do this without the words if you didn't want to add the words, or you could find some other words from some other transfers that you have, something that just says Merry Christmas. Mix and match what you've got and make it your own. You could even do your family's name if you have the individual fonts and just spell it out with those letters. That would be really cool, especially if you're making it for a gift for somebody too. Okay, so I've got my black ink here. And I need a new squeegee. All right. Now, I find with these detailed parts, like these smaller letters, you really want to make sure you've pressed it all the way through the silk screen, just because the opening is smaller. There we go. Ta-da! Okay, we're getting closer. Let me show you what we've got so far. Get a close up there. So the 3 stockings, the wording. Now we need to do some of the layering. And I think while I wait for it to dry a little bit more, I'm going to do the part that sticks out. Now, we can do this in some fun colors. Maybe get out some of these different greens to add. So I'll try doing some pesto with some of the greenery here. And this is a good time to get out your multi-tool because it's got that smaller end there. A lot easier to work with if you're wanting to do different colors in the small details. And then I'll go back to the candy apple red for this little candy cane. And we'll do maybe just a dot. There's a little dot detail here. I'll just do it in black to tie in the black lettering. And then the teddy bear, we could do that in Dune. It's not going to stand out that much. You can try mixing your ink colors too. If you don't quite have the right color of ink, just try mixing what you do have to kind of just custom make your own color. Just mix it a little bit at a time. I'm not sure that this is going to stand out enough against this light colored pillow though, so I'm wondering if I need to maybe add a bit of black or something. So here we go. We'll test it out and see. So I will take some of this Dune color on my tray and maybe mix in a little bit of black. Might make it a darker, probably just going to be gray, which I already have gray. So this is an experiment that maybe we'll have to mix in some other colors. Try a little bit of red and a little bit of green, because when you mix all the colors together you get brown, right? And that's what this teddy bear can be. So let's see if this is going to work. Well, it's like a purpley brown. So let's try a little more green. Well, it's an interesting color, that's for sure. It's not quite brown. More gray than brown, but let's try it and see. It's like a taupey kind of grayish color. Okay. let's peel this up and see what it looks like. All right, not bad, not bad. That bear didn't come through quite so crisp because of the texture of the pillow. Sometimes those little details aren't going to come through as well as if you're doing it on a really smooth, hard surface like on glass or frame, chalkboard, something like that. But you can also see on the back, it did pull up a little bit of the red ink because it's not fully dry, but you can't tell on here at all. So it's totally fine. It's all good. Just make sure that you're always washing both sides because you do sometimes get chalk or ink on the other side of your transfer. And if you place it back down again on something, then you're going to get that color probably somewhere where you don't want it. So clean both sides. Okay. Now we'll do the top of this other stocking. This little small guy. And I like how it's making the greenery kind of overlap the top of the stocking. I like how it just makes it look more realistic when you're doing that overlap. This is a fun one because there's lots of places to add different color. It is quite enjoyable. Actually, I think I'm going to use the sage for this one. Lots of my new ink colors that I haven't opened up yet, so this is fun to play with. It's always so fun using a brand new color. All right, so for this other little greenery, we'll do the light sage, just to have a contrast of the different green colors. Now, if I had gold, that would be perfect for this transfer to add the touches of gold. But I only have silver and not gold, and I'm not feeling the silver on this one. All right, so there we've got the sage, and then I've got this little gift peeking out. And I think I'm just gonna do that in black. Not the most cheerful color, but it will work. So if you're a club member, if you're going to place an order this month, maybe try placing an order for some ink colors, because I can just think of so many ways to use this on a shirt, on a kitchen apron, on a tea towel, and you could make all the gifts with this one transfer. Just get yourself a couple colors of ink. Okay, check those fingers. Okay, update on where we're at. We've got 2 tops of the stockings done and 1 more to go. And I think I'm just going to use this leafy one again. Because I think the other one, I should have maybe left a little bit more room. I think this one's going to fit a little bit better. And maybe I'm going to swap how I'm going to do the green. So I'm going to do the holly in the lighter green. I mean, it doesn't have to be accurate, right? When you're the artist, you get to decide. Okay, and then I'll jump back to the pesto for this other greenery. And then we've got this gift here again. I think I'll just keep that red rather than, I don't want to add another color. I've already got lots of colors going on, so we'll just add the gift in the red. And then those other little dots, do that in black again. There we go. Easy peasy. Lemon squeezy. Okay, I don't know if I totally lined that up right. It looks like the gift is like unfinished, but I've got a solution for that. So I don't know if you can see, but it looks like the little red gift coming out the middle, stocking. Maybe I didn't quite line that part up right. So I'm gonna take my little silicone brush and I'm just going to extend the line of the gift box further into the stocking. Then it doesn't look like something's missing. Okay. There we go. That looks a little bit more complete. Okay, it's looking so cheerful and so Christmassy. Now we just have to dry it a little bit more and then put these overlays over top and it'll be finished. So I am going to put away the colors that I don't need so they don't dry out. And so I don't accidentally make a mess because, you know, I may have done that once or twice. So much. Okay, I'm gonna leave out the sage just in case the dune doesn't work. It's gonna be a little bit of an experiment playing around with this. I don't know how I got so much on my hands. It just gets everywhere. Okay, time to dry. Just a little bit more. I can tell it's not fully dry. It'll come out a little bit better if it's more dry. So we'll just give it another minute of dry time before I start overlays. So if you want to try making some pillows, you're not quite sure what you need, let me know and I can help you pick out the right stuff for what you're doing. Or if you want to do a pillow party with some friends, then I can definitely let you know how much of everything you would need. And you can all make your pillow together. That would be so fun. a fun Christmas craft activity. All right, so now let's see if this dune color is going to work. I'm a little bit nervous about it. Now, I think the other thing I'm going to do is fuzz this. I'm just going to use my shirt just so it's not so sticky, so it doesn't pull up a bunch of ink. I still want it to be sticky, but I think it's safer to fuzz it just a little bit. All right, so let's line this up. Well, that wasn't too hard. All right, pressing it down, and then we'll see if this dune is going to be able to block out some of that red. Ooh, actually I'm pleasantly surprised. I think this is going to work. I love kind of the Scandinavian feel of this pattern, and then this dune color, which is like a creamy tan with the red. This is like very Scandinavian vibes. So don't be afraid to put it on fairly thick, because you do need to cover that red underneath. Okay. Peel and reveal. This is the fun part. Let's see how this turned out. Is it gonna look good? What do you think? I think it worked. Yes, it's perfect. It worked out perfectly. Okay, now I'm gonna do this one again. I think I can get away with doing it without washing it, but I've got to get it lined up. So that's gonna be the tricky part. And there's no red ink on the back, so it's not going to get transferred anywhere that I don't want it. But it's harder to see through now that it's got some. It's harder to line it up because, oh my goodness. Eek. I can't tell. Can't tell where it's supposed to go. Okay. I think that's it. This is why you should wash it. It would be easier to see through to make sure that you've got it in the right spot, but I think I've got it. So I'm going to quickly get this ink on here before it starts to dry. just right. Okay. Okay, we're getting close to the end. Got 2 stocking pattern overlays done. They turned out amazing. So 1 left to go. And this little one has a little reindeer on it. It's so cute. So let's show you what it looks like now with the overlays. 1 more to go. I forgot to fuzz this one first. Oops. Hopefully it'll be okay. Just don't want it to pull up a bunch of the red ink. Okay. Moment of truth. Here we go. It's perfect. So awesome. Check it out. There is the pillow with November Club transfer, you guys. Brilliant, so fun, so Christmassy. Gets you in the holiday spirit. So let me know if you need more ideas on this one. If you want to join the club so you can get this transfer this month, comment club below and I will get you all the info. And you can ask me all the questions or pop your questions right in the comments and then everyone else can know the answers too. They might be asking the same question and just don't want to type it out. So if you go ahead and type out your questions, I will answer them for everyone to see. Now, the way that you have to finish off your pillow when you're inking is to let it dry for about 24 hours, let it air dry, and then you need to heat set it. So if you have a heat press, you can use that, or you can just use a regular old iron if you still have one of those hanging around, and then iron it for about 4 minutes on each side, and then it's heat set, it's permanent, it's washable, and that's it. Your own amazing design that you created. And you can make for your own house, you can give as a gift, or you just have a craft party and have some fun creating something. All right, well, thanks for joining me, you guys. And I hope that you'll come back and watch some more tutorials and have some more fun doing some inking or chalking another time with me. So everyone stay safe, stay warm. Bye.